Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 19th of November 2018, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's afternoon session where we're going to have a look at a few instruments I believe are performing quite interestingly at the moment. So, yep. Before we start looking at that, of course, before we start looking at the charts, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. There's always a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay guys, so now then, let's quickly jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on is the S&P 500. Now looking at this daily chart here, you can see that it's a bit tricky right now, and especially given the fact that it continues to trade around this this 200 EMA here shown as the black line here, and currently the line again is coinciding here with this 2753 level. Now I was talking about this one a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about this level here, this quite important area here, the 2753, and as you can see it kind of continues to bounce around it. It also, like I said, continues to coincide here with the 200 EMA. Certainly, looking at this, I mean, it's difficult to even speak about like either the upside or the downside. The only thing is that I wanted to quickly kind of show you is, well, some probably could maybe note here a possibility of having a inverse head and shoulders formation. So as you can see here, we've got the left shoulder here, the head, and the right shoulder, which is still forming. So in a way, we cannot really assume, or should I say, take it as a hit inverse head and shoulders until it kind of breaks this neckline, so-called neckline area here around the 2816 zone, 2817, something like that. Probably this 2817 just to be on the safe side. So if we get a nice push here above this 2753, this could be a nice opportunity, potentially could be a nice opportunity for the bulls to step in here and possibly drive this one a little bit higher. But this is the level to watch from more of a near-term perspective. If we get a nice break here above this 2816, now this could potentially, like I said, confirm this this idea of having a inverse head and shoulders formation. So keep your eyes on that one. The next potential areas to watch here could be these, the 2865 or even the 2885. Now I'm not even talking about the whole the possibility of seeing like a move here with the whole length of this head here from the head to the neck. Now this, of course, if we would get a move like this, then the rise here could be even bigger, and could probably overcome the recent all-time high here near the 2941 level that was reached back in the beginning of October and also in the end of September. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. It's quite an interesting one right now. Certainly scrap the whole idea if we get a drop here below the 2692 level, and then of course if we get a drop below the this area right here, the 2637, we could potentially see this one traveling further down, and of course the next area that we would be keeping an eye on would be the 2595 area, which was marked here by the low of the 3rd of May. So for now, of course, let me just put an arrow here quickly. In a way, keep your eyes on this. Now even if, let's say, this drops here below the 2692, be very cautious around the 2637 zone, or if you want, you can drop it a little bit to be more on the cautious side, let's put it that way. You can in a way drag it towards the lowest point here near the 2602. So 2602 could be that area to watch, approximately there. 2603, which was the lowest point here that we saw in the end of October. Now, if the index would struggle to overcome this area, this is where it could become interesting, because we could potentially see like something like a double bottom formation here, and then we could see another push higher here, or even actually all the way here towards this so-called neckline here that I've got marked here at around 2817. So for now, long story short, guys, for now keep your eyes on the 2753. If the index struggles to overcome that level, we could see a slide further down. But if this continues to fall, and if this reaches the area around the 2637 or even the 2600 area, something like that, but if it struggles to overcome the 2600, now this is where, like I said, it could become interesting again for the bulls, because potentially this could form a double bottom formation. So of course, but this is all pure speculation for now. Just keep your eyes. This is just an idea for you to kind of have in mind. Let's see how this performs right now, and especially today. Jumping into one commodity, or should I say precious metal. Now that's platinum. Now for this one, let me just quickly jump into a 4-hour chart, and looking at this 4-hour chart, you can see that overall it still continues to climb higher, but recently you can see that kind of it pushed this level right here at around 850 continues to hold the price down, and for us this is going to be the one to watch. If we get a nice pop here above the 850 level, now this could be a good sign for the bulls, because for more bulls to join in, where platinum could continue traveling higher, and we could aim for the 860 level then. So certainly for now, from the very short term perspective, this is where we're going to keep an eye on the 850. Even if this is going to travel lower, let's say if this retraces back down again here, for now we're going to keep a close eye on this short-term, kind of in a way maybe a tentative upside support line taken from the low of the 4th of September. If this acts as a nice bouncing ground for platinum, now we could see the bulls jumping in here again and potentially pushing this one back towards the 850 level. We could see something like this, as I've shown here with my arrow, but if this doesn't hold, if this upside support line doesn't hold, don't rush into those sell orders, because for us to get comfortable with lower levels, we would need to see a nice good drop here below the 824 level, something like that, where we could then aim for further decline here towards the next, slightly maybe a little bit longer one than the first one, and that one was taken, this upside support line was taken from the low of the 15th of August, and we could in a way see a test of that one, a test of this line, and if this gets broken as well, then of course further declines are possible. But if this acts as a nice area of support here, then yep, we could see maybe a bit of a bounce here and a move back up again. So certainly that's a bit of a long shot here. So for now keep your eyes on this short-term upside support line, and of course keep your eyes on this 850 level. Let's see how that plays out here in the near term. Jumping into a few pairs now. USDCAD, looking at this one, continues to trade above its short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 1st of October. You can see we had a nice rejection here around the 7th of November, and then we had also on last week, from which the pair bounced higher again and now continues to push up. So what we're going to keep an eye on, of course, we're going to keep an eye on higher levels, but to be honest, we're going to be very cautious here. Certainly for those who are more on the conservative side and who are looking for a longer term trade, you could in a way wait until this pair moves back above these recent highs here that we saw in November around the 132.65 area, and then aim for higher levels, because this could confirm a forthcoming higher high. But the thing is that because we're still quite far away from there, you could in a way keep your eyes on this short-term upside support line, see how that plays out, because if we would get a nice break below this upside support line, now certainly what we would need to wait here for is a a break here below the 131.25 area, which was marked here by the low of the 16th of November, or in other words, last Friday's low. So so excuse me, guys. So this is where we're going to keep an eye on here. If we get a nice break here above this, below this upside support line, that's of course in terms of the downside, and then we could aim for a possible test of the 130.85, or even actually all the way here towards the 130.45, which was marked here by the lows of the 2nd of November. But again, I'll repeat myself, for such a scenario, for us to see such a scenario, we would need to see a nice good break here below, not only below the upside support line, but also this 131.25. So and as long as it remains here above this line, above this upside support line, of course we're going to aim for higher levels. Now a nice good push here above this 132 mark, this could potentially open the path towards higher levels, and especially open the path towards the level that I was just talking about, and that's the 132.65. This is a scenario that we could keep an eye on here. Let me just get rid of this line, it's no longer relevant. And this could be a nice gateway here for a move back up here towards the highs that we saw here in November, in the first half of November. So be very cautious for now, guys. Certainly there are some good levels here to watch on the USDCAD, and let's see how that plays out today, and especially this week. Euro USD, now this is a good one because as you can see here, we're now testing this short-term tentative downside resistance line taken from the peak of the 16th of October. This is where it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out, because currently, looking at this 4-hour chart, the pair is trading slightly above the 200 EMA, and it continues to point higher. Now if we get a nice pop here above this above this downside resistance line, excuse me, guys, keep your eyes on the 114.55 level, which was marked here by the high of the 2nd of November. Now slightly above that, of course, we do have the 114.95, or even actually you can put it round up nicely here towards the 115 zone, because this could be your gateway to higher levels. A nice good pop above the 115 level could open the path the path towards levels like the 115.50 or even the 115.75. So keep your eyes on that one. Let me just quickly put an arrow for our future reference here. There we go, guys. So in a way, like I said, for now, be very cautious, but this is of course the upside scenario that I'm talking about. Before we actually start considering even the 115 level, we still need to see that nice pop here above the short-term downside resistance line, and then a break above the 114.55 area. If this continues to hold, we could potentially see a bit of retracement here back to the downside here towards the levels like the 113.90, marked here by the lows of today, or actually just slightly below that, below today's lows. But a nice good break below the 113.90, guys, could potentially lead this one towards a test of this very short-term upside support line that has been running here from last week, since around 13th of November, and this could of course initially stall the rate it could not allow to drop it further. But if we do get a break here below this upside support line, then further declines could be possible. But for now, judging by the picture that we're seeing here right now, all eyes are on this short-term downside resistance line. And the last pair I wanted to quickly touch on, and that's EURUSD, getting a nice push here and a nice break above the 156.45. So certainly this has opened the path towards the next potential area of resistance near the 156.95 area, which was marked here by the high of the 14th of November. A nice good break above that could potentially send this one towards the test of the 157.35 area. Now the 157.35 has been seen here as a nice area of support initially, acted as a nice area of support on the 2nd of November, but like I said, this could play out nice as a good area of resistance. But for now, like I said, for now, all eyes are on this 156.95. Let's see how that performs, how that plays out. If suddenly this drops back down below the 156.45, now this could be a bit of a warning sign here for the pair and for the bulls, and we could maybe see a bit of more declines here towards the downside, where we're going to aim for the 155.75 zone. So keep your eyes on that one, guys. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope you found it useful. And if you want to join me tomorrow morning, and that's 7 o'clock GMT time, so yep, feel free to join, and we'll have a look at other pairs and other instruments as well. So thank you very much, and bye-bye.